around her. You can probably watch me gain COVID weight over the last 20 weeks.
I don't know about that.
Yeah.
I think we're both in the same boat.
My face. Yo, bro, we gotta do something, man. We gotta eat vegetables or something, bro.
I was thinking about that today.
Eating vegetables?
Mhm.
This morning, I was like, yo, I do not eat nearly enough vegetables. I know that for sure.
Yesterday, I enjoyed broccoli and cauliflower a lot. I was like,
Your body
was like, hooray!
vitamins, hooray!
It was
You're
cute.
like, more B vitamins. Keep me awake, keep me running.
My whole body was like, yo.
This is, when you feel a salad like in your veins, you're like, ooh, you get like that spinach shiver because you have not had enough greens in your life. But what I've, small things. So I've been working on my water specifically, right? And then also I've been having spirulina and
What is spirulina?
it's like this, it's blue-green algae, and it's a whole complete food or something. It's what whales eat.
Wow.
Yeah, so I put a little of that in my drink in the morning. And,
You drank, eh?
No, I don't drink in the morning, but I do drink in the morning. Yeah, so in my little shake or whatever I'm drinking, and I just have a little spirulina and some moringa. So that has actually been helping me because I'm positive that my iron is like -0. Yeah.
Yeah, that happens.
Yeah, it does. Especially being a lady. Especially being a black woman, too. We tend to have iron issues.
That is true.
Yeah. Oh, there you go.
Is that better?
It's fine. It was fine either way. I was just listening to myself before. I'm like, I sounded fine when you were on your mic.
Yeah.
How are you doing?
I'm not bad. This week has been pretty good. It's not too bad.
Okay.
Working on different projects around the city. Yesterday was a huge COVID-friendly, or I should say COVID-resistant
Cookout.
picnic barbecue
Mm.
for Bethel Stony Plain. Had a great time out there. And it was great. It rained and poured and hailed.
It did hail several times yesterday.
Which brought us together in fellowship.
Nice.
As we huddled.
Community.
We huddled under umbrellas and gazebos.
I love it. You had to keep each other warm.
Yeah, we did a bonfire and they had marshmallows. And
that sounds nice.
Kids were like, it was funny for me. I enjoyed it because one of the gentlemen there, one of my daughters, took her marshmallow and she doesn't like it black, right? But everybody who does marshmallows, it's when it's crispy. They say it's crispy. So
She likes it like toasted, like brown.
Yeah, but it's black. Like
That was. I like it black. I'm not gonna lie.
That's what was happening.
I like the fire.
So they're like, scorning it because that's what children do.
Mm-hmm.
So she's sitting there and she puts it into the fire, and she's just giving it enough so that it's brown, right? And she's like just getting the edges brown. She's like, oh. And this guy comes up and he's like, oh, hey, let me help you with that. And he takes it from her.
No.
And he shoves it into the fire, and it immediately turns black.
Which child was that?
Dad.
I know.
And then he goes, and he
it.
pulls it out of the fire. Mind you, he doesn't have a mask on, right? Pulls it out of the fire, and he's like...
She's like, no. I know your twins are Pisces, right?
Yeah, February 25th.
But Diana's the Virgo of the two of them.
So Charlene takes it from him. She goes, oh, let me see. She takes it and then drops it on the ground. Oh, sorry. I dropped this one. I can't get you a new one. And the other's like,
interception.
it was funny.
Masterful.
It was like,
Masterful interception.
I looked at him, I was like,
Shelly was like,
so we're doing this.
absolutely not. Absolutely not.
But it was funny.
Yeah.
It was funny.
Did you have a good
I'm
week?
not saying she dropped it on purpose.
No.
I'm not saying
Nobody is suggesting any such thing.
But it was dropped shortly after.
Mm.
So other than that, yeah, and then there was convocation for Bethel Edmonton. They had our first ever Zoom convention.
For some reason, I thought this picnic was part of convocation. I don't know why.
You're 100% correct. Normally, what happens is convention starts Thursday. It goes Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then Sunday is the finale of convention. And then the Monday is always Labor Day Monday.
Mm-hmm.
And that is usually when everybody gets to hang out and fellowship. We play games, we run races, we do a bunch of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But this year, Bethel Edmonton was like, no, we're not doing a picnic. So Bethel Stony Plain was like, yep, we are doing a picnic. So they took the opportunity to do a really nice picnic.
Nice.
Which was really good.
What was on the menu?
Burgers, hot dogs. Some people, and this happens at every picnic, some people bring their own chicken that they've seasoned at home. And they get that cooked on the grill. And it was very succulent. There was mixed vegetables. I had gotten a platter of mixed vegetables, and then
that's when you enjoyed the cauliflower and the broccoli. I'm like, when did you come across those in your life? You were like, oh, this is delicious.
I brought it, and I turned the corner, and it slid off the chair, and then spilled all over the ground in my vehicle. So I went back to Superstore.
I had to get a whole next one.
Got a whole new platter.
Wow.
I got cheese and pepperoni.
Okay. Forget the vegetables.
Finger foods. I brought that as well.
Okay.
And then I brought, and then that was it. And then we had a really good time. They had mashed potato and just regular
picnic stuff.
Yeah, but
barbecue
it was more like Canadian picnic.
Yeah, it wasn't a cookout.
No, it didn't have all your stuff like your baked beans and collard greens and corn on the cob.
I've been fiending for that lately.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's October, so it's Carolina State Fair, and I mean it's September now, but I
remember the Broward County Fair when I was in Florida.
County fairs are the best. Fairs are the best.
They're awesome.
Actually, in Sanaya's 18th birthday that just passed the other week, we were talking about like some things that remain constant through the times, pretty much through the trouble. And that was one of the things, fairs. And that like affected her. Like no matter what was going on, no matter what city we were in, if there was a fair, we were going to the fair. If I drove by and saw a fair, we were going to the fair like every time. So she remembers that. We've gone to a lot of fairs actually up and down the I-95.
I remember driving and my friend's like, yo, let's go to Broward County Fair. And I was like, what is that? I had no clue what it was until I pulled up and I'm like, oh, it's Klondike Days. And then when I went inside, I was like, wait.
It was seasoning.
It's not really Klondike Days.
It was seasoning.
This is interesting.
It's awesome.
It was really awesome. I did a bull ride, mechanical bull.
I've never been to the Stampede.
Neither have I. And I've lived here quite a long time. But I did this mechanical bull ride, and I'm on the bull, and they're like, yeah, you got to stay on for 8 seconds, right? So I was on there for like.
It seems like not that much time, right? So it's like 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000.
And they start you off pretty rough.
1,000. Okay, so I see how that's a lot of time.
Especially if you're a dude. If you're a dude, the mechanical bull guy, he doesn't want you riding that thing very much. If you're a girl, he'll slow it down and start off nice and slow.
Oh, okay. It's not for you.
He even told me, because I was on the bull for like, I'd say about a minute.
Nice.
I was on there for a while. And I was like, wow, this is great. I'm good at this. And he's like, never ever do that again.
Nobody wants to see you.
Nobody wants to see you on the boat. Right? I was like, yeah.
Everybody's like, forget this guy.
And everybody's like,
Oh,
you know, my friends are like, whoa, he's really on that boat. And then I got thrown off.
Riding that boat.
Yeah, I got thrown off, and he was spinning and trying to do all. I'm there like holding on, and then next thing you know, I got thrown off. And he's like, dude, don't ever do that again.
What is it? Is it outside?
Yeah, you left the window open.
Yeah, we need it there.
So then,
what's happening? What's rolling towards us right now?
Somebody's
rolling past in the alley.
Mm-hmm. So then after that, they put on a girl.
Yeah, and then he did the thing.
And then he just did it nice and slow and stood off slow and he went in. And everybody was like, yeah, all right. And then at that point, I was like, oh. Maybe I should have stayed outside.
But you did your thing, though.
Yeah. Totally realized at that point that I could literally, if I needed to go into the rodeo, I could probably.
There's a spot for you.
Of course, yeah.
Excellent. Do I need to be reminded of anything that I need to say? It's been a pretty routine week. I'm still recovering, definitely, from the market. I don't even think the shop itself is back to normal just yet. Anything that you can think of before we move on to this?
That you need to be reminded of.
Am I forgetting anything? No?
Not that I know. Not that I know. Just shout out to the team that helped with the
aphrodisiac market.
Sure. We did that last week.
Yeah.
So one more, just quick shout out.
More shout outs
to everybody. That was amazing. A lot of people are talking about it. They are setting up and getting ready to start
for the next one.
Yeah. Which will be indoor.
It will be indoor.
We are steady getting into the plan.
Yeah, and I think we have to go take a look. We have a location. We have to go take a look and do I call it pulling the trigger, the signing, the crossing of the T's and the dottings of the I's.
We have ideas for. We have a couple locations that are on the docket, but we're moving towards one right now, which is fun.
Yeah, and we also did have some sponsors already kind of jump on board and come in. I think after seeing the success of the last one as well, so we're in a good place as far as
we're in a good place for the market, which is really going to be excellent.
Still, though, if you decide that you want to sponsor it, we had over 500 people come to the last market. You can definitely shoot Melanistic Magazine at gmail.com an email, and we'll get you on that sponsorship list.
And listen, when you're sponsoring, when you're giving back into the Black community, the sponsorship doesn't necessarily go to. It goes to doing the market again, but it also goes back to the vendors as well. This is a vendor-driven market, so the vendors get a little bit something. Most markets that we have, the difference between the aphrodisiac market and most of the markets that are out there, it's the vendors who have to pay to get into the market.
Right.
Where it's not the same way here. It is the vendors get in. We give the vendors access, but it is a curated vendor. So we make sure that it's what the people need, and
we have a long list of people to go through.
So we have to go through all the vendors and make sure they're in there. And this one was pretty good. So
I've told this last 15 vendors that they may or may not be in the next one, just depending on how much space we have.
Right.
But we'll see going forward.
And this one, I'm hoping that if we do music and band venue, which I believe we're working towards, musicians, rappers, DJs, please holla at your boy. Let's get you on the list so that you can reach this diverse crowd of people.
Yeah.
And
get hired. Get yourself hired.
It's going to be really good. It's going to be really good.
Yeah. Okay, onward and forward.
Oh, wait. Did we talk about last week the school? Did we talk about school last week?
Back to school?
Back to school?
No.
So yeah, my children went back to school last week. I know there are a lot of children that I know, a lot of parents that did not want their children to go back to school.
Yeah.
We watched numerous videos of what the school had planned to do to keep the children safe.
Yeah.
And then also did a tutorial for the children on how they can keep themselves safe by washing hands and wearing masks. And then we brought them there. It was quite amazing what they were able to do, and each of the children were able to do their go into their classrooms. They don't really hang out in the hallways and stuff. They kind of just line up outside their door. They have an external door, and they go in there. Nishan's getting ready to get into the soccer club, so I'm getting that ready. I'm hoping he has the information that I asked him for the soccer club, so he can get in.
Nice.
And they are eager to have him on the team.
Like, hey, you're one of us. Yeah, bros.
Yep. So, quite a bit like that, yeah. So, yeah. And so
less enthusiasm.
I did drop them to school this morning, so I was really, really happy to drop them to school. My oldest, I just dropped him by the field. He was by the field, and he got to walk across the field to his school, so it wasn't that
He's grown.
He's grown. And he's cool, super cool.
Like it.
But I was worried going into the scroll that leads me into the scroll.
What are you going to talk about?
Well, the first thing I got to talk about is after sending children to school, there were 2 new cases out of the school. Last week, yeah.
Oh, wow. Already.
Yikes. So there we are with COVID, rearing its ugly head again.
It's doing its thing. But they knew it would happen. They're saying they still can't figure out why Africa hasn't broken out the way that they expected. Like, I don't understand. They keep saying it. I'm like, this is such a weird headline that pops up every few months. Like, why? How come Africa is not having as poor of a time as the rest of us as a continent? So I'm like, Africa has been washing their hands for a really long time. So, as a continent. So, yeah, I guess we have to brace ourselves. Definitely, if you find yourself in the shop, wearing a mask is ideal. I certainly prefer it. But as I told my client the other day, I'm like, no big deal. I'll protect you from me, and if I get sick, oh well, right? We'll just close the shop for a few weeks until I get better. That lady immediately put her mask on. She's like, close the shop. Hold on there.
He's like, okay, man.
And I'm like, you know.
Shout out to Darren Hall in the house.
Hi.
What's up?
What's you happening?
And
there's a thing that we didn't talk about last week was the Keosha, Wisconsin. The week prior, we did talk about Jacob Blake. Did we talk about Jacob Blake getting 7 shots in his back? We did.
I think we grazed on it, yeah.
So he's awake and he's spoken to the media for the first time. And from what the doctors are saying, it's like, you know, a miracle
that he's alive.
That he's alive, and he'll probably never walk again, right?
Wow.
Because it was in his back. So, right after that, this guy named Kyle Rittenhouse showed up on the scene during the protests of the Jacob Blake, and he had probably an AR-15. We always say AK-47s when we see those guns. But it's not until you're in the South you're like, oh no, it's an American gun, so it's an AR-15. So he's out there with this AR-15, chilling with the cops, high-fiving, you know? And then he goes in and he murders a couple people.
Yeah, 2 people.
Yeah. And then my man does not show up for his extradition hearing.
Yeah.
And the judge goes ahead and postpones it so that he can go and get a private lawyer.
That's awesome.
It's good. I didn't get an opportunity to hear exactly what Donald Trump said, but Donald Trump came out in support of the young man, obviously, out loud.
Old Donald.
Yeah, never letting us down.
No. It's what we expect.
It is what we expect. So I think that there's a lot there, obviously, about privilege and juxtaposing the way he's treated. He's treated a lot like our boy, what's his name, who got put to death, the guy who shot up the church and prayed with everybody first and then murdered a bunch of people.
Yeah, murdered 11 people.
Yeah, so that young man is now, I believe he's waiting to get the death penalty. So, yeah. Recently, there's a professor from George Washington University named Jessica Krug, who came out and wrote a Medium article and said that she is in fact white.
Yes, I saw that.
And not black after all.
Yeah, she's been teaching Black studies and African American history. She's been doing that. She's actually told a few people that she's black.
She's told all of the people that she's black. And specifically, I believe she's been going under the Afro-Latina banner. And she actually even missed her mama's funeral because she didn't want people to find out that she's white.
That's deep.
Which brings us to Sean King.
Sean King, what about him?
So you know that there's more than rumors that Sean King is a white man, right? And you know that on Sean King's birth certificate, his father is listed as a white man and his mother is listed as a white woman. And Sean King says that his mother told him that she had an affair with a light-skinned black man, and that's his real dad. But that person is not on the birth certificate.
Interesting.
So what you saying? Should we be gatekeeping blackness?
I don't know. I think we're late.
We're late?
Yeah, we're late.
Okay. That's all you got, huh?
Yeah. We're late. So, yeah. What do I have here? So, we have a few things about blackness. First of all, we have Kati Sagnia out of Sweden. She is the Swedish long jumper, and now she has become very famous because of how she looks and has a huge Instagram following now, including Jamie Foxx following her, as she is right now setting records with her long jump. But it's more along the lines of how she looks is why people are drawing attention to her, because she's a very good-looking black lady.
Okay. She's a long jumper?
She's a long jumper. And she's long. Like, it's all legs. So when she's jumping, it's like, doop, doop, and she's in the air, she doesn't come down for a long time. And then she lands, so.
Did she win a bunch of stuff or something?
She's getting ready. A lot of people are drawing attention just because it's kind of like when Serena changed clothing and totally shocked the tennis world because they were used to the little tennis skirts and stuff, and Serena came in yelling loudly and screaming and just batting the ball and just dominating. And so it became, it's not elegant, it's not graceful. But anytime black people are involved, they want to say it's not graceful, it's not elegant. It's all about the sport.
Especially black.
Savage.
Yeah, black women. Because Meg Thee Stallion is as tall as like most high fashion models, pretty much. Like Hadid, Bella Hadid, whatever. all those models and Meg are like the same height, but somehow they make her out to be like she's like some beast or something. Like they're like, oh, like, can you imagine? Just going back to the story, but can you imagine if Tory Lanez had shot Bella Hadid in the foot, and people were like, "Well, she was beating on him."
Yeah.
Right, because there's this assumed like My Fair Lady way that black women just don't get the opportunity to just be women and be vulnerable people. It's automatically assumed that she was like the aggressor or something.
Because he's tiny.
Yeah, but also they said the same thing about Rihanna.
Yeah, true.
And they'll say the same thing about any black woman who's coming out and being like, yo, this dude did XYZ. They're like, what? What did you do?
It's very important as black men to just stand up and make sure that we are holding each other accountable, for sure.
All right.
And I think last for the scroll.
Sure.
I think.
I have some stuff about this the largest black hole ever.
Oh, go for it.
And I also have some stuff about Naomi Osaka. You just want to go last? You could say yours.
Mine's more very...
Last. Okay.
Mine's more happy.
Oh, well, the other day, NASA, the space people, they got some gravitational waves from a black hole that they say is so large that it shouldn't exist. Like, according to their math and how black holes work, that black hole should not be, like, they can't figure out how a black hole that large would exist, and they don't know what size of star, like it's impossible for any size of star that they know of to collapse and then make a black hole that big, right? So what they think is that certain black holes, there's like multiple black holes coming together through space, and they all came together and made this one gigantic black hole.
Wow.
From wherever, that for some reason is sending these gravitational waves, a bunch of billion light waves.
Where?
To Earth.
Wow.
And we're picking it up. Like, what the heck?
I wonder how that affects your body, like in the seasons. And
how you don't even see, right?
Yeah.
Like a whole gravitational wave from a giant black hole. They're like, it's so big, it shouldn't exist. What? Like, what? Did you also see, I don't know if you saw this, but just this last week in LAX, 2 different pilots reported seeing a guy with a jetpack.
A jetpack? I didn't see that. I saw the plane flying, and they saw like a shiny saucer in the distance.
Oh, I didn't see that.
And then the saucer like turned and faced the plane, and then went and dived down. And
this was this last week?
Yeah, and then you saw like the circle, because there's a circle.
Last week?
Yeah, it went down.
We're going to have to find that, you guys. I'll post it when I find it.
I was like...
That stuff was weird. But they're like, hey, LAX, this is Air Canada, or whatever, whoever it was, Delta, whatever. Mm-hmm. And then they were like, yeah, there's a guy in a jetpack? A guy in a jetpack. And then they're like, okay, you know, the air traffic control like got whatever information that they needed to get. And then another pilot from like JetBlue also reported it. And they're like, yeah, this other pilot told us already. Like, there's some guy in LAX apparently on a jetpack. Also, maybe this giant, maybe wormhole. I don't know. Things are happening. I already told you that we were already messing around with this time travel thing.
Somebody said that to me. Somebody said that to me today in my guys group. I was like, also that in our guys group, they were like, yeah, somebody has got back in time and changed something. And I said, we say that all the time.
On the multiverse.
I'm like,
that is our theory. So let them pay us when they use it. And also, Naomi Osaka, tennis's highest paid athlete or female athlete, I'm not sure which of the two, has now partnered and is part owner, has invested into, is what I should say, this premium sake brand in Japan. So that's where she's putting her money in. Premium sake.
So Osaka sake.
Osaka sake.
Oh, wow.
I like it. I'm like, how much is a bottle? Where can I get it? I like sake, so.
Can we get Osaka sake?
And also, I feel like if she was like, of all of the types of alcohol that she could be brand ambassador for, sake is so, of course, you know, like it's so like, I don't know how to say, like she's a tennis player, so I feel like she couldn't be like a Budweiser spokesperson, right? I feel like sake has like.
Don't you think it has anything to do with the fact that she's also part Japanese?
Sure. But I mean, of all the alcohol, I mean, just across the board on the alcohol. Sure. Yeah, of course. And she reps Japan, right?
Yeah. Okay.
As a black Japanese. Cool. But I do think that, like, sake's like, okay, so, like, I don't know. It has, like, an air of, yeah, what you're doing right now. An air of that. Smug middle distance.
Smug middle
staring and nodding, yes. So, yes. Big ups to Naomi Osaka, definitely big moves. What you got?
Last but not least, Versus TV has decided to announce their next two candidates who are going toe to toe, and it is none other than
Barney and Elmo.
Patti LaBelle and oh no. Hold on. Sorry. There it is. It's Patti LaBelle and Gladys Knight. Sorry.
Wow. Question. Do the Gladys Knight, the time when she's with the Pips, does that include in
It's Gladys Knight, man.
Okay.
Whatever's got her name on it.
Are they going to be there in person?
Like Beanie didn't stop, you know?
True. Are they going to be there in person together? Like
I don't know, but it's September 13th, Sunday, September 13th.
Literally this Sunday.
Sponsored by Syrah.
Okay. I feel like
5 p.m. Eastern Standard.
I feel like Sheral's tuning in and watching and singing 100% of the tunes.
Yeah, she's good. Sheral's
good. Sheral, I know you're on it. She's like, this is the verses for you, gay.
This is gonna be it. So, Patti LaBelle versus Gladys Knight. And we're gonna see what she does.
Ding. Oh.
I don't know if they're gonna be doing that, but yeah, it's gonna be great versus.
I have a feeling that it's gonna be so elegant.
It's gonna be amazing.
Yeah. Did you see? This is a good move on to the screen. Mm-hmm. Did you see them floating around this picture of the new Golden Girls remake?
No.
The black version of the Golden Girls?
Wow.
I am not happy with it.
For being a friend.
Yeah. I don't like it. You know why?
Back again.
I'll tell you why. Because these girls are too young.
Because I'm your friend and your confidant.
Look who they have here.
Who is it? I can't see. You're joking. They're perfect.
What? No, they're not.
They're perfect.
Okay, you guys. We have as Blanche. Let me see if I can make you guys see this. As Blanche, we have Sanaa Lathan.
Here's your problem. The problem with here's the problem.
They're too young.
You know what your problem is?
What?
You're not understanding one thing. These three, the ladies that were in Golden Girls.
These two are not the same.
The ladies that were
the
ladies that were in Golden Girls were 40 years old. We thought they were old.
Bro, no, she's not 40 years old.
You are. That's the last picture. That's not the first picture. That's the last picture from the last season.
You're saying when they started, they were like this?
They were like that.
No, bro.
These ladies are 40. They look like they're 30.
Bro.
Look at them. Black don't crack. This is why you're like, they're not old enough for Golden Girls.
They're not old enough for Golden Girls. I did take into consider what consideration what you just said.
Mm-hmm. That black doesn't crack?
Yeah.
Even if you took that picture 10 years from now, those black ladies will still look identically the same. They're not going to look any different.
No, but there are people who exist right now who are older who'd be better. For example, Rose. Cicely Tyson.
Cicely Tyson?
She's 90 years old.
Okay, so how many...
She also looks like she's 30.
I love Cicely Tyson to death. She's awesome. She's great. But I feel like she'll make one season.
Don't do it. Oh.
I think she'll make one season. And even if she makes more than one season, I feel like, okay, they don't know how long she will be Rose for. They need at least 2 to 3 seasons with Rose.
Cicely Tyson's holding on for a long time.
She keeps holding on.
She does. She's going to be around for a long time. I accidentally switched our cameras.
Oh, wow.
So people would just see me like,
oh, that's fantastic. Right up in your grill.
Oh, under my grill. I'm like, ugh. Keep it classy. Keep it classy. I'm trying to get you guys this picture, but...
So...
They pretty much have... Okay, let's go through it.
So who they have is...
They pretty much have, as Blanche, Sanaa Lathan.
She's Blanche. Well, they have her in the Blanche spot.
Okay. As Dorothy...
Regina
King. As... I don't know what this lady's name is. Rose?
Blanche, Dorothy, Rose, Betty? Sophia.
Rose. So as Sophia. Rose, Tracy...
Ellis Ross.
And as Sophia... I don't remember.
Is it Sophia or is that Rose?
This is
the
Rose.
Oldest,
this is Sophia.
The mom.
The mom is Sophia, bro.
Okay, so the mom is...
I don't remember her name.
Isn't it in the bottom script?
Oh, Alfre Woodard. Yes, it is.
Yep. Alfre Woodard is obviously the person.
She's also the one.
So
I feel like Cicely Tyson. I also feel like...
Put it up on the multiverse.
Garcelle Beauvais. What's her name? Oh, man. She's a little bit older, too. And she'd make a good... But I guess I'm thinking of the real life people. No, I'm not thinking of. Sorry, I don't know what I'm thinking of.
The issue comes in is this. Back in the day when we had the original Golden Girls, that generation it wasn't for us. It had nothing to do with us. It was for the baby boomers who are also that age. It's my mom that was watching Golden Girls, and I just happened to be in the room.
They were not young at any point, weren't they?
Who were they?
This is how they started? Is this them young?
Who are they? I just pointed at it. Look.
Is that what they look like young?
Yeah, look. She still has brown tints in her hair still. It's just getting white.
Yo, you guys, when I tell you, I always thought that the Golden Girls took place in the nursing home.
See, this is the problem that you're having.
Literally maybe until right now.
This is the problem.
I'm like, how are these 4 living in a nursing home?
So the 4 they picked right now is for my generation and younger. It is not for it's not for my mama. Right. It's not for them anymore. That's why they did this, and I get it. It's a good strategic marketing move.
You know who I'm thinking of? You know the mom on Greenleaf.
Okay, yeah.
I want her to be Blanche.
Okay.
But I think it's because of her playing that character. Like that Southern, like, Belle.
Okay.
And I feel like her and Blanche have the same wardrobe. Like that drapey kimono type of... You know?
Blanche always was very Southern. Right. So it was good. Right. They even have a couple episodes where Blanche and Don Cheadle have a scene together where he's confronting her about being racist and the Confederate flag.
And she's like, no, this is Southern hospitality.
And she's like, I grew up with this. this is about my heritage. And he's like, your
Yeah.
heritage means you're racist.
But I like when people hear, and you guys, this is my favorite. I like when people that mention are like, no, you guys, the Dukes of Hazzard. And I'm like, yeah, the Dukes of Hazzard, dummy.
I love the Dukes of Hazzard. Like,
Me
I
too.
love
Me too,
Bo
me
and
too.
Luke Duke. I always.
And then one day I was like,
racing,
oh.
And then I found out about the flag late. I found out about it late. I think I was maybe in university.
Oh, wow.
When I found out about it, I had moved away and moved to Florida, and then I was like, and that's when I found out what the Confederate flag was all about. And I was like, wait a minute, you mean Bo and Luke Duke? What?
Daisy, you too?
Right now, in this day and age, and I'm going to say it to you, all you techions listening right now, if Bo and Luke Duke were in our area right now, they'd be voting for Trump.
For sure.
For sure.
Yeah.
Bo and Luke Duke would be Trump supporters.
For sure.
They were like, yeah.
Actually, one of my favorite
I'm
jokes.
surprised he doesn't play that. It is rallies, instead of trying to do black
liberal
music.
People are artists usually, or artistic people are usually liberals.
Just
So it's a
good
tough
old
one.
boys.
They're like, nah, no, stop it. Stop it. Yeah, so moving on the screen, which we still are on.
Oh, we're on the screen.
Still, we were talking about it just now because of I did a gentle roll to on the screen.
I see that. Okay. I was like, okay, that's where we're at. Oh,
Cool. So, tell me what you're watching, and don't bring up what I'm watching.
Man.
Don't you dare bring up what I'm watching.
So I'm watching I'm watching
Deep Space.
I'm watching Deep Space Nine still. Deep Space Nine is actually doing really good. We're dealing with a lot of racism between aliens now.
Naturally.
So it's
Interesting.
It's interesting to watch, that. I also finished the 4th season of Insecure. Those of you who have torrents and have access to torrents and have access to downloading.
And also HBO.
And HBO, please watch it. Issa Rae did an amazing job. Kerry Washington is an executive producer on some of the episodes as well.
Nice.
And does, especially the cry ones. She's
out there.
If you're gonna,
the weepy one.
Yeah, if people are gonna start crying, that's the one.
The weepy
shout out to Amanda Seales for bringing light to just mental health issues on the show.
Yeah.
So there's a scene there where she was going through some hardships, and nobody knew this from any of the other seasons. Right. And then now she does this thing where it's like, whoa. And so Issa makes a point of having a male character dealing with mental health issues and a female prominent character dealing with mental health issues. So she goes through that, which is awesome.
Yeah.
And then
I'm a fan of Issa Rae in a real Shiro kind of a way. Yeah.
She's really great. And I watched that season, so it was epic. So I watched that. I also watched
the show we're both watching called Lovecraft Country. Now there's a bunch of people that I've been saying it to, and they're like, what's that? So it feels like there's kind of a buzz, but maybe the buzz hasn't reached you yet. If you have HBO, or if you have access to shows that are on HBO, however you do, Lovecraft Country. Napster. If you like, you know what I realized though in episode 4? Anyway, I'll tell you after. If you like sci-fi, if you like fantasy, mystery, but also black people, like it is definitely focused around black people.
And it's also focused on black history.
Also black history.
So it is taking place in a time when racism is prevalent. So imagine you're in the South, you're past the Mason-Dixon line there.
Way past.
You are there.
You're in what's called a sundown town.
You're in a sundown town, and I didn't know what that was And that was basically when they told black people, do not be caught on the street past sundown.
Past sundown, or
because
we
will be required
lynch
to lynch you.
Yeah, we'll
hang you for no reason, just for being out past sundown.
Yeah, the sundown town.
So they do focus on that. They do show
so they're like, so imagine like fighting beasts and demons and then also running from white supremacists at the same time. And for me, there were times where the fear that I felt empathetically while they were running from the white supremacists that are like chasing them for their lives was more than the fear that I felt with the paranormal stuff, like in just watching it, right? So I really love it, but what I also like, this is the same black woman who did Underground.
Okay.
So that is who's at the helm of this.
And Jordan Peele.
Executive produced by Jordan Peele. Mm-hmm. So Monkey Paw is the studio that it's produced out of, but mm-hmm. she's definitely the writer and the creator and all that mm-hmm. stuff. Mm-hmm. And then there's somebody else black involved, but I don't remember who. Jordan.
What got me in it is when you see the white supremacists and the monsters merge, and that's when it got really scary for me.
Yeah.
Because at one point I was like, "Oh, wow, run!" And then the other part I was like, "Oh, run!" And I was like, "Run, run, run, run!" You know, you're like you want to scream, so it's pretty good.
Yeah, and then also, one thing I have to say about Jordan Peele. Anytime there's black people in his movies, they be running from the bad guys. Like when I tell you, like even Us, which you haven't seen yet, I don't think, right?
I haven't seen.
There's a point in Us where she's just like Lupita's just booking it, just running.
What I love about his movies is when the black people run, they don't look back.
No, they're just running.
They're running.
As fast as they can.
They're running. It's fear, and they're like, gone.
Yeah. So Journey Smollett is the lead actress, and the lead actor. I don't know his name. But yes,
she's the sister of.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesse.
Yeah, and so Jesse.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. What?
Jesse and Journey.
No, but Journey is the girl?
Yeah.
In the car?
The light-skinned girl.
I'm a huge fan of hers. Like a huge fan. I've seen like all
She's great.
When she was in TV, I saw her when she had the braces.
Yeah. And the dude is the dude from Five Brothers. Mm-hmm. He's the guy's son, who is also phenomenal.
Five Bloods.
Five Bloods, sorry.
The Five Bloods.
The Five Bloods, that's what it was, my bad. So, yeah, the son in that is the guy who plays the lead in this.
And he's amazing.
He's really good.
What
he's
a
really
great actor.
And at the same time, so imagine this. So I'm watching this kind of revolutionary take on writing and producing in TV shows and filmmaking, because it's like telling black stories. And one of my favorite writers, Octavia Butler, does this as well. So it's like magical realism where she merges these fantastical things with the horror of every single day, right?
Right.
So watching it at the same time as the Umbrella Academy, because I was catching up, is like juxtaposing not only the writing difference, like white writers just literally ignore this entire layer of storyline. Mm-hmm. Also, very disappointed with the Ben character and how that turned out in Umbrella Academy. That was super whack. They sidelined that guy's character, and then eventually, I didn't like it.
You thought he'd be around forever? Because he was dead when it started.
I know, but the guy channels dead people, so I thought at some point they would.
No,
what I thought
he doesn't channel dead people. He channels ghosts. Very important difference. It's ghosts he can channel, not just dead people, because dead people aren't always ghosts.
Okay, so the guy was a ghost. So what I thought was going to happen is that over time, he would start possessing him, and then old dude would have a different, like he'd be himself, and then it would be a version of him that was the possessed version that has the ghost power.
That'd be good. Well, you know what? The funny thing about Umbrella Academy is you never know what's going to
He
happen.
could come back. I mean, they're jumping through time. Who knows?
So, who knows what's happening?
Yeah. So it was good. I enjoyed it, but at the same time,
and he's alive. But anyways,
oh, he's alive in the new time, which is the wrong time. Yeah, which is the wrong time. Dad, who are these guys?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw it, but it can't continue like that. But we'll see what happens. Maybe he'll be badass next season. I hope he's the baddest.
Maybe they'll all die and then he joins them. Who knows?
We'll see what happens.
It could go anyway. But Umbrella Academy was pretty good.
It was pretty good. Watching it as I'm watching Lovecraft was pretty insane. Just seeing the difference.
Yeah.
Big shout out to Kyle Smith who made that possible for me. Yeah.
And then last for me, for those of you with children or that just love Disney, Mulan just came out on Disney Plus. It was interesting because you have to pay for it, and they put a link where you click on it with your remote, or if it's on your phone, you pay for it with your credit card or however you pay for Disney Plus already. And then once you pay for it, you get to download it and own it for the rest of the time. So
they're actively boycotting that movie now. Not they.
Mm-hmm.
Some people are calling for a boycott of Mulan.
What?
Because the actress supported the Hong Kong police. And the Hong Kong police is like involved in a lot of police brutality towards students and that big thing that was going on last year. She was in something like that.
I can't really.
Yeah, we're not into those politics.
But the thing about
outside of my.
But yeah, the thing about China in general, there are places in China that, even with COVID and how COVID rolled out in China, it's very controlled what they allow the Western world to see.
They're talking specifically Hong Kong, though.
So if they're talking, even if they're talking about Hong Kong,
right?
The Hong Kong police and this lady they may be like, yo, in order for you to do this Western movie, you gotta say, like,
yeah, maybe. I don't know what the politics are, to be honest with you. Police brutality is obviously an issue across the board, so you don't have to push me too hard to be like, to convince me that people in power are taking advantage of that power in any corner of the globe. So I can say I don't know what the politics are of this thing, but I'm just bringing it up to say that there are apparently there's politics around it.
It's interesting.
And then somebody else was like, "Well, I watched it because there's no Mushu in there." I was like, okay.
Yeah, they it's really good. Mariah really liked it because it wasn't a musical.
Oh, it was fighting.
Yeah, it was a movie, and then whenever you heard the songs, they just played the score.
Okay.
During fight scenes.
Okay.
So there'd be like fight scenes.
It wasn't an opera.
It was like, and then it was like, ching, ching, ching. Like it was.
So my friend posted this, but apparently Disney drew 2,000 horses and 2,000 horsemen, soldiers, for the battle scene, and using a fireworks display, Mulan kills all of them except 6 people, and then kills the final bad guy at another time. So she is the Disney princess with the highest death count. I think my friend was like, bringing her total death count to 3,995 people, making her the Disney princess with the highest death count, highest body count.
Okay. Yeah.
It's true.
It was definitely, for a Disney princess movie, it was definitely probably the most violent. And it had a lot of swords and stuff like that. And
they tried to do it.
It was about war. So,
yeah.
And yeah, it was about revenge. They had Jet Li was in there. Nice. Tony Jaa was in there.
Is it a kung fu movie?
Pretty much.
Oh, I'll watch it.
It's a huge kung fu movie.
We have it on the Disney Plus though.
Yeah. No, we don't. You don't.
Or you do?
Well, yours is from Sanaya.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I don't have Sanaya's. And I'll tell you why off air.
Okay. But that's what happened. That's how we got it on. I thought.
Nope.
But we could check. But if it's there, it should be there. You should be able to watch it.
I think it should be there.
And yeah, so Mulan, very good one for everybody. It's a good family movie. It brings you back. You'll enjoy it. They had talks about Mulan because of Once Upon a Time, which came on. It was on regular TV. It was a TV show. Mulan came on there, and she was part of the LGBTQ plus community.
Okay.
On that one, so they thought the movie was going to be like that, but they just mimicked the movie off the cartoon.
All right, what you listening to? What you listening to then?
Anderson .Paak has an album that I've been grazing over, and then the Insecure soundtrack I've been actually perusing through. After watching the season, I was like, wow, this style of music I love. I love just the beats and just it's very it seems New Yorky jazz, saxophone, trumpets. It just was really cool. So so the
I'm gonna check it out. Actually, what I'm going to do, they have a Spotify playlist, so I might rock the Spotify playlist in the shop sometime.
Okay,
that's what we're gonna work with. We were just talking today about how in order to like get the new music, especially urban, like anything to do with black people, pretty much. I don't want to say just urban, soca music, reggae music, like pretty much black people music. You have to like.
It's harder to get to.
You have to consciously
go looking for it. Yeah.
So you are listening to that. I'm not really listening to anything in particular. I'm kind of floating around the Spotify playlists. But I think that we're going into that new season where I need something new. So I'm going to bump that Insecure Spotify playlist and see what it's saying.
It's not bad.
That's what's on my list.
It's not bad. Some of the songs aren't meant for children. But
there's some explicit songs.
Some. Okay. Maybe one or two.
It'll just be adult day. I don't have kids in here every day.
So
some days.
Just to be
some days there's curse words on my shirt. So what else? Do you have a word?
Yeah. We do have a word. It's very interesting, just in life how we go through day-to-day interacting with other black people and our families and friends. And this week taught me a lot about interaction. I met up this Saturday with my brothers from church, and it's more of our friends, right? We've grown up together, and this group of friends, we're about 10 or 12 deep that literally hang with each other. We grew up with each other, and we see each other, and we used to see each other, in passing at church, and we've all grown up together and got married and children and all the different things, and, in and out of relationships, and we've seen each other grow in every aspect of life. But how you treat each other, how you treat one another is important. Making sure that you're sowing into each other positivity always gains back positivity. So whatever you put into the relationship, you're going to gain it back. Now, this concept is in every form of religion. It's in every scriptural text. It's in everything. What you sow, you shall reap. What you put in, you should get back. Mm-hmm. Now, how you take care of what you put in, that is the key. So if you sow and put in a seed, but you don't water it, and you don't provide sunlight, and you don't have fertilizer, and you don't do the things to allow it to grow, it will have to fend for itself. And if it fends for itself, it has the potential of dying. without you nurturing it and taking care of it. But if you do nurture it and take care of it, it does have the ability to grow large and fruitful and beautiful, depending on what you're growing. The same thing for your friendships, your relationships, your children, your marriage. Everything is going to be what you put into it, you will get out of it. It is how it is. So for everything that you do and everyone that you meet, make sure you're sowing that positivity. Make sure you're putting in what you need. You don't necessarily have to put it into everything. You don't necessarily have to interact with everyone. But if you want to see something positive, you put in positive. And I feel like that's the way of life. It's what we talked about last week with Nilo, talking very positively about the weather until the weather was beautiful that day. And it's just how it is. With my friends that we met up and we just talked and just had a guy's day where we had a great time, lots of smiles, lots of laughs. It was really cool to just meet up with them and just be happy. So
sounds fun.
What you reap, you'll sow.
Okay.
What you sow, you'll reap.
What you sow, shall you reap? Or something like that?
Yep.
All right, y'all. Thank you very much for joining us on this another week of the Black Multiverse Theory podcast. We did not do the intro today.
Yep.
We just went into it. All right, y'all. Thank you once again for joining us. We will see you again next week. And that's it. Good night, everybody.
Good night. Oh, wait.
Oh.
Did you sign up?
We're still
alive.
On.
Darren Jordan.
Darren
Jordan. Didn't forget that guy. Yeah.
So here it is right here on my phone queued up.
Darren Jordan has Culture Days. This is upcoming events, by the way. This is what we do after.
We usually do upcoming events all the time. I don't know why we missed it today.
It's been a little
rough.
bit weird.
Right.
So Culture Days, in partnership with the National Black Coalition of Canada, Five Artists in Love, will be doing 2 online events. So September 19th, which is coming up pretty fast on us.
Nice.
There is a pop-up Tiny Desk series from the AGA, or the Art Gallery of Alberta, featuring some of our most esteemed female performers.
Ooh.
This will be digital, offering recorded. This will be a digital offering recorded for the sole purpose of being distributed online. September 26th, a special collaboration performance from select alumni to be released online. I think that would be me. I think I'm going to be on that one.
Oh, nice.
February. So this year, coming up in February, is the 15th year, annual year, the anniversary. We are taking submissions for 5 new artists to be showcased at the Art Gallery of Alberta and other local galleries for the month of February. It's a great opportunity for artists to show their work in a renowned provincial gallery, sell their work, and collaborate with other creatives. In celebration of our 15th anniversary, the Art Gallery of Alberta has offered to host our retrospective show on the 2nd floor in the main gallery from March to June.
Ooh.
Artists who have shown their works over the last 15 years are being invited to join us for this next level event.
That sounds amazing.
The details of the music performances will be announced at a later date. Submissions can be made to 5 artists, 1 love, that is the number 5, artist, the number 1, love, at gmail.com. So, that's it.
That's it, everybody. That sounds awesome. 5 Artists, 1 Love is a good time every single year. We've yet to be disappointed. Thank you so much for tuning in. We will catch you next week on next week's edition of the Black
Multiverse Theory Podcast.
Have a good weekend. Have a good week. Have a good weekend.
All right.
See you next week.
See you next time.